Good morning, News in Motion family. Good morning to everyone who is tuning in live. As you can tell, we are already starting with the fun because today is our Friday Eve. Today is just our day to let loose a little bit, let loose on the heavy news and just give you some informative news, but also have some fun on today. So, if you're tuning in live at 7:25 a.m., whether you are on the tubes of you, the Book of Face, or whether you are tuning in through LinkedIn, or if you are audio or podcast listener, we just want to say thank you for tuning in. If you're watching the replay in the afternoon, the evening, or near the nighttime, we just want to say thank you for watching this. But today we're going to have so much fun, y'all. So prepare to have all the laughs, have all the jokes. We are, of course, going to have Miss Gail Deli bringing on some headline news. We are also going to have Kenny Stanley talking about Game Over in the NBA Finals. And we are also going to have our youth ambassador, Miss Lexi Williams, coming in and giving us a special report. So as I see y'all coming in the room, most of y'all coming in on YouTube, quick shout outs to Miss Kim Edmondson, Miss Deborah Johnson, Miss Regina Shorts, Miss Adrian coming in on YouTube. Y'all know what we do here. Let's go get some news in motion.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I like it when we have the full team with us. And I see Kenny trying to slip in here, which is so crazy. But I love it when we have the full team with us. We are missing Deborah Johnson this morning, but it's so exciting. I knew when I said Thursday's rolling around, the team is here, minus Deborah Johnson, but it's so exciting. But anyway, as Isaiah was saying, there's so many of you already in here. This is so exciting. I see Adrian and Regina. I see Deborah. I see Kim Edmondson. Yep, the tubes are used. He did say that. I see Sardinia, Kenny Stanley, as y'all saw him pop up on the screen. I'm like, huh, why is he here? Jeffrey Allen James. Jacqueline, what's up? Good morning. Good to see you. Karen is in here. Deborah Sneed is in here. And then all the podcast listeners. I need to apologize to the podcast listeners because y'all do be sending your names in and then I get started and that's on a different system and I forget to bring them over. So let me call some of you out here. We have John on here. We have Richard on here. We have Derek, I believe. We have Kenyatta on here. Curvadas, I hope I'm saying that correctly on here. We also have a Kimberly on here. We have a Taylor. We have a Journey on here as well. We have a, let me see if I can say this correctly. Kimyata, Kanyemta, on here as well. So those are just a few names that's coming through on the podcast. We want to say good morning to you. I see Pastor Alex just popped in here as well. Y'all, today is Thursday. It is our Friday Eve. It is Thursday, June the 8th, 2023. I am your host, Gail Dudley. Thank you so much for allowing me to spend a portion of your morning with you if you are tuning in live. If you are watching the replay, thank you that you stopped and say, hey, let me go check out what's happening over here on News in Motion. Kim Edmondson, y'all, all you podcast listeners, Kim Edmondson said on YouTube, shout out to the podcasters. So we want to shout out to all of you. We see our numbers. Gina Winks, as y'all know, she's our audio engineer. Y'all, those numbers are through the roof. Y'all are jamming over there in the podcast. But we realize that people are back to work and back to this and back to that. And I love Gina Wink's phrase where she says, listen while you live. So that's what you can do over there in podcast land, is to listen while you live. Now, don't y'all go anywhere over here in the live video because I like the chat. Y'all know y'all feed, y'all give me the energy to keep going in the chat. I see you, Donita, as well. All right, y'all, in the news, there is something in the air. There is something in the air. Y'all, smoke from Canada's wildfires are pouring into the U.S., mostly in the East Coast and the and Midwest. Travel has been impacted, and people have returned to wearing face masks. So y'all, there was a reason why y'all kept those things. They were saying that people were digging through trying to find their face mask. I'm like, all you had to do is ask me to open my purse. I could have probably supplied about five of y'all with one, or in the back of my car. I keep those things now. I just keep them. Y'all, I know here in the state of Ohio and central Ohio, yesterday I went out, I said, what is that? Y'all, the smoke, you may not be able to see it, but when that wind started blowing yesterday, oh my word, I was like, okay, this is too much. So there are some air quality advisories out there. Please be mindful of those things, y'all. They're saying people with upper respiratory issues or heart or lung conditions that you need to be safe. In New York, New York is getting hit rapidly with the growing haze of the orange skies. I saw some of those images and I said, wow, look at this. A lot of flights are being canceled as well. New York Times reports that the air quality index in Syracuse surpassed 400, according to Air Now, which designates a reading above 100 is unhealthy. I know here in Central Ohio, we are now above that 100. So y'all be mindful as well. Baltimore, Maryland, Virginia, DC, New York, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, just all of these different places, we have to be mindful because we are all above 100. Also in Detroit, Michigan, we hear you're getting hit. You're right next to that border over there. So please, please, please do what you need to do. They say to breathe, 100 is unhealthy to breathe, and above 300 is hazardous. New York, you are now above 400. So please be safe out there. Please be careful out there. Marion, I see you. Adrian said the city of Columbus is definitely hazy. Listen, I just know I went out there. I was like, whoa, what is this? What is this? That was a lot. That was a lot. So I cannot even imagine being over there in the East Coast or in the Michigan area. With that, we hear that the heat wasn't the heat last night. We don't know what happened there. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Kenny Stanley to talk about this final, whatever it's called, NBA, and something's happened there. I don't know what's going on, but there you are. I see you. I froze for a minute. I see you. So go ahead, Kenny, take it away. I need to see what's going on my end. There's something going on. Maybe the haze is taking us in and out. Who knows? But go ahead, Kenny. I hear the heat went down. We can't hear you, Kenny. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
What,
Y'all
what
just
is going
forgive us
on
for
this
the
morning?
technical difficulties. Something is happening, but we're going to be okay. What did you say, Kenny?
I said it's the haze. It's the haze. The haze.
It could be the haze. It could be the haze. All right, Kenny, go ahead and take it away.
Hey, News in Motion family, good morning. How y'all doing today? Hey, I know I picked the Heat to win this thing in six, and I'm not going to change my pick. News in Motion family is not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo are giving it everything they got. Butler had 28 points last night. Bam chipped in 22 points, grabbed 17 rebounds, but it was in a loss, 109-94. I don't know what's going on. The Heat supporting class is not showing up. The only person who did anything was Caleb Martin off the bench. He had 10 points. Where's everybody else at? I don't know what's going on. The other reason it's not looking good was two reasons. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Not only did these two put on a show last night, they said they did something that has never been done in the NBA, period. Not just the playoffs, the NBA, period. They both had triple doubles last night. Jokic, aka the Joker, they both had 30-point triple doubles. Joker, he dropped 32 points, grabbed 21 rebounds, had 10 assists. But his running mate, who I say they're in competition with themselves, his running mate, Jamal Murray, dropped 34 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, and dished out 10 assists. The Nuggets now lead this series 2-1. The Heat didn't come out. They didn't seem like they had the energy. They didn't match the energy that the fans had last night in the arena because the sold-out arena was rocking last night. The Heat, who have been the comeback kids, this whole playoff series, the whole playoffs, they've been the comeback kids. They better find something to do by Friday at 8:30. Because if they don't, you might as well cancel this one. It's over with. In other news, NBA news, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had another record drop last night. Yep, it happened. This time, it was the Heat's Udonis Haslem who became the oldest player to appear in the NBA Finals game. The record was 42 years and 58 days, which was set on June 13, 1989. Well, Kareem, you lost another record yesterday, but that's 2 in 1 year. But it happens. It happens. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And I don't know what's up with the supporting cast. They need to come on. They need to come on and do what they're supposed to do. I need y'all to tune in with me on Saturday, where I'll give you more scores from this playoff, from this championship series, and then we got to talk about this daggone golf bombshell that dropped on Tuesday. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what backdoor meetings was going on, but I feel bad for Roy McIlroy and Tiger Woods as the PGA and Live Golf. They have now joined up, and they dropped a bombshell on Tuesday. We're going to talk about it because I do believe they were stabbed in the back. That's horrible to me. Hey, that's sports. Back to Gail for more news. Everybody have a good weekend. I see you on Saturday.
Now, Kenny, before you go, Tiger Woods gave up $800 million when he told the other
He
team
told
no
Liv
last
no.
year.
He told him no. So did Roy
Right.
McIlroy. They told him no, we're not coming over to Live. We stand with the PGA. That's where we got
Yeah.
our start from. Then all of a sudden,
All
whoever the
right.
leader
And
of the
Kenny just
PGA
froze
is,
on the shot. We just be patient with
yeah,
this technical difficulty. And I'm going out as well. So, Kenny, can you hear me? Wow, y'all, give us patience with the technical difficulties. We think it's totally out of our control. So if we lose you, understand that's what's happening. Because it never has never hit like this before. So it could be the haze that's hitting all over. So yeah, y'all, that's what happened with Tiger Woods. He gave up 800 million. Tune in on Saturday at 6:30 to hear more on that from Kenny Stanley with Game Over. Again, thank y'all for being patient with these technical difficulties. And Isaiah and Lexi, if I happen to go out, you just come on. Latrice Jones says, I can still hear you. That's what I need to know, Latrice. That's what I need to know. All right, y'all. I believe this makes 11. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum has announced his candidacy for 2024 Republican presidential nominee. So now that field is becoming it's becoming very crowded. And that's what happens when you have a crowd like that. Things happen. But I think Buttercup's going to prison. I don't know that. That's just my personal opinion, whatever. But he can still run from there as well, unless it is espionage. So the people are saying, from a lot of the alerts that I have been receiving over the past maybe 20 hours, that something's happening today. So we just have to stay tuned and see if it happens today. They may put something out there and it may not happen until next week or the week after. But Jack Smith, he went to Subway yesterday, and people hadn't seen him out in a long time. So that's kind of like a sign that he has wrapped this thing up. So it's going to be interesting. Also, Steve Bannon, he has been subpoenaed. Yes, he has. So now he's going to have to go and give a testimony as well. I see you, Hester. I see you, Shardinia. Shirley, what's up? You said buckle up, Buttercup. Listen. Now, y'all, Pence wants to talk. Yeah, he used his presidential campaign announcement speech yesterday to give the harshest criticism yet of his former boss's coup attempt. He says, and I quote, anyone who puts themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. And anyone who would ask someone else to put them over the Constitution should never be president of the United States again, he said. Really? Now you want to talk about it? Okay, we see what's going on there. I see you, Patricia. Good morning to you. All right, y'all. Student loan pause is coming to an end. Oh, man. And I think there was a great write up in the Washington Post and their reports. I just want to give y'all just a few things that you all can do if you know anybody who's in this place that needs to know. Just some things that you can do. One, check the details of your account now. Check the details of your account now. This is coming all out of the Washington Post in case you missed it. Number two, keep an eye out for notices. Start communicating with them. Don't wait until September 1st. Start doing it now. Figure out which repayment plan is best for you. Look at that, see the options. Make sure there's no interest or penalties that have been attached to that, because none of that's supposed to show up. Check your eligibility for other debt forgiveness programs. There have been different programs out there for ministers, pastors, leaders, nonprofit executives, and so forth, even entrepreneurs. So check to see what's out there. Y'all do not be afraid to sit down and speak with someone to know what's happening. And then also, y'all ask for help. Don't just sit back and say, I'll just let, things fall where they do. No, don't do that. You have to really pay attention, figure out what's best for you, and start looking at your budget now so that when September rolls around, people were saying this. And I know it was difficult because eggs were like $30 a carton. I'm joking. I made that up. I'm being sarcastic here. But people were saying they could not set aside that money because the money was going to other things, because maybe they had lost their jobs or things like that. So they were saying that you should have been taking that money or a portion of that money and putting it in savings. It's a little too late for that now, but you can pay attention and say, how can I start putting $20, $25, whatever, at least have a couple months of those payments set aside if you're able to do that. Jeffrey Allen James said Biden said he's going to veto that bill and would continue to fight for it yesterday on Twitter. He said that, but he signed a paper that was in that debt bill that said that they would not get involved and it would have to go through Congress. So, the games they play, I don't know. Maybe he has something up his sleeve. He is a master negotiator. So maybe he had a loophole in there. Who knows? But we'll see, Jeffrey Allen James. We'll see. Speaking of the bill he's going to veto, well, here we are. I told y'all this was coming. One day y'all going to start listening to me. I told y'all this was coming. The House of Representatives stalled with members of the far-right Freedom Caucus yesterday on the floor. They were like, hold the floor, hold the floor. We're not voting. We're still mad at you, Speaker McCarthy, for passing this debt bill. We're not voting for any bills that you're putting on the floor. They held the floor. They shut him down yesterday. They mad. So that's what's happening, y'all. This is all over the debt ceiling, which says to you, which should really send you the signal that the Democrats did come out ahead, although we, the people who really needed certain things in that bill, we didn't come out ahead. The Democrats as a whole did come out ahead. But unfortunately, they put us on the chopping block. And that's the type of conversations we need to have when we're out here doing what we're doing. So they held the floor. The Washington Post report, it was a 2-day stalemate between the hard right Republicans, GOP leaders. They just shut it down. They were like, we ain't voting for anything. Nope, we getting ready to go home. And that's what they did. They were like, we out. Peace. We're gone. That's what happened. So just right past around 6 p.m. on yesterday, after the GOP leaders gave up on resolving the impasse this week, they canceled the remaining votes for the week. They're like, just go home. We're done. So they held the floor like that. And they were like, peace. We out. We gone. So y'all, the difficult thing is, this is what McCarthy is saying, that some of these members, they don't know what to ask for. You're the leader. What are you asking for? If you want a seat like that, you have to lead. You have to lead. But no, they done held the floor on you. Hear me, everyone. Hear me. This can go on all the way through 2024. This right here can go on because the House Freedom Caucus is done with it. And see what happened, go back to what I said about 2 or 3 weeks ago. You had the Democratic Party who made the decision to say, McCarthy will support you. Well, you'll have enough votes to stay in the speaker's seat because we're not about to go through this again. Y'all remember me reporting that right here on NewsInMotion? Well, he has that. So they can't even vote him out the seat. So he has that. But right now, all the bills are held up because they held the floor. They held the floor. Kim Edmondson said the Democrats are united. They are united. They held the floor. They're like, nah, we ain't fooling with you. So McCarthy will now meet with several members of the House Freedom Caucus on multiple occasions over the next several days. But the House Freedom Caucus said, no, we out. So we don't know how he's going to meet with them. Is it going to be by Zoom? Zoom or he's going to go visit them. We don't know. But they're like, no, we're not doing it. So it's going to get real interesting here. It's going to get real interesting, especially going into this election cycle that is really going forward. I'm going to save my report on Clarence Thomas until Monday because I really want to look at some more stuff. But I just want to shout out to Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, who disclosed her money. She disclosed a $1,200 congratulatory flower arrangement from Oprah Winfrey. Just stop right there. Flowers cost $1,200 just for a bundle. You're not talking about a whole event full of flowers. Go on, Oprah. I see you. I see them flowers should have lasted for about 30 days. They should have lasted about 30 days. She disclosed that. She also disclosed, I said, go on, Justice, $6,580 designer outfit that she wore for a Vogue magazine piece. All right, go on, girl. I ain't mad at you. But I'm going to give more of that on Monday, but I just had to shout her out. Now you mess with fire, you will get burned. Yeah, Kim Edmondson, $1,200. Well, y'all, the CNN chair and CEO Chris Lent is out. Yep, y'all. As of yesterday, that was his end. Reports suggest that decisions made by Chris Lent, including firing top talent and a contentious town hall with former President Donald Trump, caused employee morale to just sink. You think? Their numbers weren't looking good anyway. They were down 60% compared to 2022, with the average primetime viewership of 470,000 people, which is not even half of what you're seeing on MSNBC or even Fox News. So just let that speak for itself. So when you mess with fire, you will get burned. My mama used to always tell me that. You mess with fire, you will get burned. You touch the fire, you're going to get burned. He touched the fire and he got burned. So we'll see. We'll see if Don Lemon's going to show back up. Who knows? And hey, Tucker, you can't do that. Now, Tucker tried to do a show on Twitter and Fox News came out and went, bam, you've been served. You can't do that, Tucker Carlson. No, they shut it down. Elon Musk is mad because he thought that bringing Tucker Carlson on for a digital platform on Twitter is going to just highlight Twitter. No, he got shut down. No, he got to pay more. He got to pay more fine. They have deep pockets, Tucker. You should know that by now at Fox News. That's how they got rid of you. So now you had a show kicked off. It was 10 minutes and you had all these millions of people show up. Now you have nothing because Fox News said, no, not to 2025, Buttercup. You Buttercup Jr. So that's what's happening. I want to bring in Lexi. Lexi has a report for us that helps us follow through what I talked about yesterday with voter registration, voter participation, voter education. And I love it that our high school News in Motion ambassador is coming forward with this type of reporting. So y'all, until Monday, I'm getting ready to be out. But the young people are going to come in. Don't y'all go anywhere because they got some serious reporting they want to share with you. For everyone who's been praying for my mom, thank you. That's where I'm running off to. Thank you so much. She's doing okay. She'll be 88 in August, so it's slow walking. I'm glad I have 4 other siblings. We're carrying the load, helping with my dad. So if I'm like not returning your call or not returning the email or a text message rather quickly, give me some grace. Give me some grace. And hey, y'all, guess what? Y'all know Pastor Derek Holmes, who joins us here on News in Motion from time to time. He is a pastor of a church in Circleville, Second Baptist Church. He called me up. Hey, I need you to come preach. So that's where I'm going on Sunday. So if y'all could pray for me, that would be great as well. God just keeps opening doors. You never know. Y'all, there's something about the freeness of life in Christ that just changes all types of things. So when you see my images and I'm smiling, I'm looking free and things are different. Y'all, I'm living in this freedom. It took me to about 57 years old to get there. But y'all keep living. You'll get there too. And to all the young people, don't wait till 57 or whatever to do it. Go ahead and do it now. With that, come on in here, Lexi. Let's see what your article's all about. You look beautiful.
You. Thank
you. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Got that glow going, got that hair fly going, girl. Well, I can't wait to hear your report. I'll be listening, although I'll be on the other side of this whole voter piece and the people that have gone before us. And I know you're going to knock it out the park. So I'm going to let you take it over.
Yep. Well, good morning, News in Motion family. Good morning, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. It's good to see you. As you already know, I'm Lexi Williams, your high school ambassador for News in Motion. And of course, thank you to Auntie Gail and the wonderful team behind News in Motion. Without them, well, I don't think I would be here in front of you all. So today we're going to be talking about Truth from the Youth. Is history on the repeat? This story roots from AP News. So where do we stand with voting rights? And why is it so important to vote? Almost 60 years ago, the Voting Acts right was passed, specifically August 6, 1965. AP News interviewed people who were in the middle of the fight for voting rights and are continuing to tell their stories today, 60 years later. All feeling a sense of pride that they stood up for what they believed in, but some of them are questioning, are we heading back to where we started? Thinking back 60 years ago, what was at the forefront? Segregation, violence, and the yearning for equality that eventually led to laws bringing the U.S. closer to its promise of democracy for all citizens. Although segregation may not be present anymore in America, violence and voter suppression are still very present to this day. 10 years ago this month, the court halted what many consider the heart of the landmark law, the ability of the Justice Department to enforce it in states and counties with a history of voter suppression. The justices now will decide how strongly to protect minority groups when they challenge political boundaries drawn through the state's redistricting. Changemakers like Andrew Young and Lucy Johnson recall what they had experienced during the fight for voters' rights and equality 60 years ago. Andrew Young walked with MLK Jr. and was with him when he was assassinated. He is still aware that we all have work to do, saying, I never thought that the United States or anybody else would be perfect, but I thought we would be constantly getting better. And on the other side, Lucy Johnson is the daughter of former President Lyndon Johnson, and she was a teenager when her father signed the law so people of color could have the access to vote. One thing she would hope to tell the Supreme Court, she says, what a privilege they all have to access to the voting booth. I would tell them to do all that they can to make liberty and justice right for all Americans. So because of the actions like Stephen Schwerner, Della Simpson Maynor, Joel Finkelstein, Norman Hill, and the many unrecognized names, we stand here strong, tall, and free with the ability to stand up for what we believe in. We have the ability to challenge authority, and we have to stay involved in our local city councils and government decisions, not just because the decision affects you, but it affects your neighbor and all of those around you, and they affect the next generation. So I decided to switch it around, and I began to think about what else could this mean for someone else who's listening, someone who is like me or who is younger. No offense to those who are older. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But Auntie always says making bold moves, right? So I said, what does that mean? To me, it's another way of saying your actions speak louder than your words. But catch this with both hands. But the difference is being that your actions are a deeper connection to your God-given purpose that reflect who you are on the inside. Pause. I'm going to let you catch it. There you go. So like John Lewis said, get in good trouble, necessary trouble, and help redeem the soul of America. May he rest in peace. But today our national days are National Best Friends Day. Woo, woo, woo. Shout out to all my best friends, besties for the resties, for lifers. National World Oceans Day, protecting our oceans all around the world. National Bounty Day, if you're a bounty person, shouts out to you. International Days of Action for Elephants in Zoos. I do love my elephants. They're not my favorite, but I do love them very much. National Karen Day in tribute of 2020. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, side eye. National Upsy Daisy Day. Stay positive. Everything's going to be fine. You can have a little upsy daisy from time to time. It's fine. And then World Brain Tumor Day. So in honor of all those who are fighting brain tumor and cancer and all of those, just covering all of it, we shout out to you and salute to you for fighting and keep fighting. To those who have lost a loved one or those who are still fighting. But Isaiah can come on in here because those are all our national days. But National Best Friends Day, that's my day. My bestie.
National Best Friend Day. Wish I had a bestie. Listen, but here's the thing though. You always got a best friend when you got God. Come on now, catch it. There's always a best friend when you got God. A-E-I-O-U. And sometimes why. There you go. And sometimes why. But I have a report of my own. So Lexi, I don't know, maybe you want to talk about this, but some people, but Google executive is saying that they're using AI to regulate AI. Does that make sense to you? So they're using AI to regulate AI. This is coming from a Google executive, and this is being reported by Politico. So regulators in charge of ensuring that artificial intelligence, also known as AI, doesn't harm patients who could possibly use AI um, to identify high risk strands of COVID-19 or any other disease. This is also being reported. They also interviewed Prakal Patel, who for years worked on a digital health initiative at the FDA before becoming the head of digital health regulatory strategy at Google. Says regulators need to think on differently about how they set rules for artificial intelligence or just technology in general. So, what is your opinion on that? Do you, like using AI to kind of, I don't know, counteract AI? Like, are they trying to put are they trying to put AI against each other? Like,
They just try to make people feel better. AI is AI. See, I like to let my work speak for myself. So whatever I do is what it speaks of me. I don't need no generator to try and tell me what to do and how to do it. That's my business. That's what I wrote. I don't need no generator trying to sit here and make up big old professional words that we all know I don't use. Thesaurus come through. No, I don't need all of
come
that.
through.
Okay. So if AI is gonna do it, what does that say about me? What does that say about you? Okay.
Mm.
I get it. I'm using my resources, but I'm not letting this whole thing write it for me. I need to do it myself because it's from the heart, whatever it is that I'm writing or using. And I get it. Some people are saying it's taking jobs. Listen, I just let your work speak for yourself because the generator can never be a person at the end of the day. It can never be a person.
Hey, listen, it can never be a person. It can never be you. And also, in other news and entertainment news, the Little Mermaid, y'all, is the box office is going through the roof for Little Mermaid. Right now, it is the number 1 movie in the world right now. So want to give our congratulations to Miss Halle Bailey for her role in Ariel. I have still not seen the movie, but I have heard nothing but positive reviews. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. But I've heard nothing but positive reviews. Another movie that is doing well is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That movie is selling out as well. I saw it the other day, and it was really good. So if you are a big fan of Spider-Man, Marvel, um, multiple universes, that's a good movie for you. It is a bit long, but it is definitely worth it. So with that being said, we're going to transition over to our inspirational message. Lexi, I kind of wanted to just talk about, I've found a verse of the day. On my Bible app, and this is coming from Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. This is the New Living Translation, and it says, "So let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up." So, what I got from that is basically it's telling us to, you know, be intentional in what we do. Be intentional in our giving. And if we don't give from the heart, if we don't give with pure intent, then God won't bless us later on in life.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
that's kind of the inspirational message for today. And again, it's coming from Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. So Lex, let me get your point of view on that.
I
What do
mean,
you?
I think you said it kind of straight. I think at the end of the day, the energy you give off is the energy you're always going to get back, whatever you do in life, right? So the energy that I'm putting into my purpose is the energy that's going to come back to me, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to reap what you sow. Like they say in the Bible, you reap what you sow. So if my purpose is giving off, I'm giving off my purposeful energy, the intentional God given energy, I'm going to get back what God's blessing, what He has for me, right? And so I said before that some people are on the tip of the iceberg and they're about to fall into something greater, but they have to be careful because they have unintentional giving and unintentional purposes in their life, or chains and depression and anxiety and all this other stuff. You got to be careful because you're on something so much greater that God already has for you. Sitting here asking Him for a blessing, but you're not ready to receive it. So
Talk to us today. Talk to y'all getting this blessed word from our guest evangelist, Miss Lexi Williams. You know, she's giving a preach. She's giving a blessed word right now. She's giving a blessed word. We just want to thank you, Miss Guest Evangelist Lexi Williams, for
I'm glad I could
that's a
be
word right there. Y'all catch it both hands. Catch it with both hands.
Catch it with both hands, okay? With both hands.
Somebody gonna catch it on the ride home or on the ride to word.
Okay. God bless y'all. Bless your heart and all your parts, my daddy would say.
Amen. Well, that was our news in motion for today. Today, we just have fun today to start Friday Eve. So we just want to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Whether you were on the Book of Face, the tubes of you. Listen, instead of saying YouTube, I'll say the tubes of you. If you were an audio or podcast listener, we just want to say thank you for listening in on Hot 97 News in Motion. I am Isaiah Jones. This, of course, is our youth ambassador, Miss Lexi Williams. And of course, shout out to Mr. Kenny Stanley for Game Over, and Miss Gail Dudley for all that she does with News in Motion. And of course, our other members of our team is Deborah Johnson, our audio engineer. So with that being said, make sure y'all enjoy your weekend. Be safe with the air out there. Please be safe with the air out there, especially if you have children, if you have asthma, if for all of our elderly with respiratory issues, please be safe out there with this air quality. And y'all know what we say here: stay well and make some bold moves. We're out.